America's team, the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way,
as of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now. Green, 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his first pass is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Going up top. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. A look now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Prescott from the gun on third. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The give is to Elliott. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got...
And oh, it's blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Green 39.
Now back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Ball start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the Titans come up here 1st and 15, but kind of interesting, the Titans were penalized the 2nd least amount in the NFL in 2017. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
And how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense. That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32.
Here we go. 26.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Here we go. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. A look now at how Tennessee's going to line up defensively. Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Here we go. 26.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the 1st quarter of action. 6-3, that's our score. We're back to Nashville right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Hey, hurry up, here we go. Green.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 30.
He'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. Green 30.
Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
That's our ball. Every time. Keep putting that ball on the ground.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it. But it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to back up.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now the point after try for Santos. This time the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Stopped shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Green 19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Elliott puts this one through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting. He's able to convert for 3.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And an alley to run. Zeke with a shake and bake. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. Finding room inside the 40. He's got it. This is Ware. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Santos now to add the PAT. Santos with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Able to push his way through. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Albert away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Calling a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott from the gun. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
1st and 10. Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Collins. A good pickup there, a 22. From the red zone now, Prescott drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll set up a throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll look to throw now on first down, and it's incomplete.
One thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Titans on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On now is the Titans punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Final 12 seconds of the half now, as they've got it 1st and 10.
Here we go. Wide angle.
A give to Elliott. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 24-7, the final. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. Sterling Shepard, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And as you see, they were winners in their ball game. 30-7 was your final. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 26.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Here we go. 26.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That's caught by Ware. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The 13 yards that time at a first. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start. Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Second down, Prescott. They'll roll him out right. Oh, Prescott stripped. And that might be Titan football. It is.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Hurry up, here we go!
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because, for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Now let's go!
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route. and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here we go now. 3.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue landed.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations.
Let's go.
You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down.
I don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
Now, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Prescott now on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Prescott to throw it, and he comes back with one complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle. And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did. This is Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the lines. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football. It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it. Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the Titans getting set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. 3 points is 3 points. And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch tight. Tight is right. All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor, and that'll make it 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. They're going to look to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot. I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Set. Boom, landed.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. This is intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They go to Elliott again. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Elliott. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Prescott now, option right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Prescott now, option right. He may try and run for this. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. Give him a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it still brings up 4th.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well. And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Here we go now.
He'll drop to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now the point after try for Santos. Santos with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Green 39. Check.
Out of the gun now on third down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Everyone's got 4 down. Everyone, wide 80.
Now Elliott. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. Here's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
They'll run with Elliott. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.